Hello everyone, let's talk about cultural stereotypes today and cook as well. So it's going to be kind of a vlog. Stay till the end with me to see what I'm going to cook, what the outcome is going to be. The first ingredient is a carrot and I have to peel it. While I'm peeling it, let me introduce the term of a cultural stereotype to you. You're going to see it somewhere over here. And Thompson and Hickey, in their book, define cultural stereotypes as something static and oversimplified. These are static and oversimplified ideas about a group or social category that influences our own behaviors. They stem from our attempts to understand or even scrutinize the values, traditions, languages of others, or maybe by others we can understand foreigners, for example, or just people different from us. That is why cultural stereotypes, it's not only about races and nationalities, but also about social groups. It probably all started when two tribes met and somehow they had to communicate, but they didn't have the common language. So the only thing they had to start with is just trying to communicate with the help of non-verbal language, some gestures probably, and only later on maybe they developed some common language. But at first they relied on only deciphering the behaviors, and that was very difficult. Nowadays there is the whole classification of patterns that make us different, and that can be the context. So of course we have high and low context cultures. Asian countries are considered to be the cultures of the very high context, whereas our Slavic cultures, they are of a low context. And the same goes for the power distance, maybe the time perception, and so on and so forth. These factors are wide-ranging. Subconsciously, we make snap judgments about new acquaintances as soon as we meet them. That's just in our human nature. And the thing is that the stereotypes are particularly instrumental for our brain. Why? Because it's impossible to make individualized judgments about each and every person we meet. So of course our brain just, again, naturally tries to categorize the people we communicate with, and that's when stereotypes come in handy. So all in all, stereotypes cover our limitations and misunderstandings of others. They arm us with very quick strategies to judge people around us. It's just more effortless, I'd say, and easier for the brain. That is why we are jumping at conclusions about people very quickly. So I'm almost done. Okay, here we are, perfectly peeled. Now we have to grate it. It's going to be so noisy with grating, so I'll just show you how it's done. Like this, and very quickly. Just look at that. That's what we got. The next step is to add the baking powder, some cinnamon, crack an egg, and mix it with some oatmeal powder, slash flour. That's going to be very healthy. The thing is that I have always been bothered with the question if cultural stereotypes can be considered helpful somehow. So here is the thing. Stereotypes provide the conscious awareness of others' differences, and we understand that they exist regardless of our assumption of the common somehow. And then stereotypes can be particularly instrumental and useful for those people approaching new cultures. Okay, let me think how much I need. I think it should be enough. Maybe a little more. Okay, that is it. So it helps us to maintain the accurate approach. It cautions us, it cautions our perspectives and guides our social experience somehow. So basically, we cannot get rid of stereotypes, and probably we should not, just to make ourselves safer. But at the same time, of course, we can talk about negative stereotypes and persistent stereotypes. If they prevail, then it's not the done thing, it's not something good, especially if these stereotypes foster hostility and some maybe discrimination. In that case, we should do something about them. I've mixed all the ingredients. That's how it looks like now. That's my healthy, wealthy dough. My cooking is over. Just look at this gorgeous waffles. No, just kidding. Okay. Carrots, oatmeals, no sugar. Yeah, that's the thing. As for cultural stereotypes, so I came to the conclusion that they are useful somehow, especially if we are entering new cultures. On the other hand, we should not persist, and negative stereotypes do have their drawbacks. So somehow we should always question our first guesses and remember about the bell curve. So probably 80% of systems or people may follow the stereotypes. However, there will also 20% of groups, individuals, etc. that are going to be the exceptions, and we should always keep this idea in mind somehow. So be mindful, remember that stereotypes both help us and fail us.